The autumn days are still hot. This season catches the rain and releases it each morning in a thick mist. The rising clouds always bring me out of bed. I try to be outside, just watching the beauty of the autumn morning. I garden with the little ducklings playing at my feet and learning to collect bugs. It's such a beautiful thing to see them learn to forage for food, but they're getting pretty big and all of a sudden now they've begun to learn how to forage veggies too. As the sun slowly rises above the tall mountains, the mist disperses and dances between the trees. Each morning, the ducks greet us with their joyful quacks, and this morning, their tails waggled with excitement as they realized that last night's rain made puddles for them to splash in. By morning, the sun shines strongly and it's already so hot, so I like to walk to my favourite waterhole and play in the natural water slides. The spider lilies are blooming and these strange flowers surround the waterfalls. This place is my favourite, but I have to be careful to not spend my whole day here. There's always plenty of work I should be doing at home. But I think that a bit of time in the morning to let you relax makes you become so much more focused. And the farm work can wait while I sit here and listen to the flowing water. On my walk home, there is this young jambu tree on the other side of the farm. We grow 3 types of jambu on the farm: red, pink, and this one, which is a beautiful light green. This type tastes best in a savoury way, and my favourite way to cook it is in a pickle. The season is changing so fast, and autumn's fruit is ripening quickly. I like to collect whatever is in season from the trees, and plan the meals I'll cook today from whichever fruit I harvest. The lime trees are thick with fruit at the moment, and this life has taught us to always follow the recipe book of the trees. So I'm going to make a quick pickled jambu and carambola salsa on homemade tortillas. We also like to follow our body's cravings, and at the moment Julia is sick, so I think that a bright, fresh, salad-filled meal straight from the trees is exactly what she needs. Collecting fruit always takes a lot longer when the sheep are by our side, since they always end up eating the majority.
No. That's mine. That's mine. That's for you.
I wanted to just quickly tell you about the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. We chose this life in the rainforest, away from it all, and while it's so amazing to live remotely and in this beautiful place so close to nature, it can be isolating to be so remote. It's always nice to be able to just speak to someone and tell them everything that you're feeling. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform which is super accessible wherever you are. Even if you don't live remotely like us, it's not easy to find the right therapist in your area. So instead of trying, you can let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist from home or wherever your phone or computer is. BetterHelp will match you with a therapist who has experience in whatever you're struggling with. Plus, BetterHelp will match you with a therapist in most cases within 48 hours. If you think that you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. Click the link in our description or visit betterhelp.com/mtmf. Clicking that link helps to support our channel, and it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. What are you looking at? In this season, the weather is constantly changing. One second there are clear skies, and the next a fierce shower of rain fills the valley. This kind of weather is my favourite because it brings rainbows almost every day, and the mist rises and falls and shifts through the treetops. The shadows are long and blue, and I've heard different theories about this. Some people say that it is the eucalyptus oil spread through the air, and others say that it's a reflection of the sky that is much deeper blue in the autumn. All I know that it is the magic of the season. We still take the ducklings for swims on most days. They love splashing in the water, and they might just be the most spoiled ducks in the world, always swimming in the most pristine waterfalls. We love to go with friends, and the ducklings swim between us all. This is our favourite season to garden. The growth has slowed a little so we can stay on top of the weeds, but the days are still hot and the plants grow enough to mature over the colder months. From the story of you and I remember the stray cat that you couldn't leave behind, tracing our hands overnight while we drank and drank our wine. Sunlight was streaming through the window and like dust, it covered the wall as it grew, making shapes and shadows. The thousands of magical fruit trees were planted by our grandparents and parents, and every day as we learn to tend them and plant more, we are reminded of the power of planting a single seed. While our dad and grandparents are no longer here, we are grateful to still be nurtured by the meaning of their actions, the trees that they planted, and the land that they cared for. Last year, we wrote a memoir full of stories of the rainforest, its fruit, and our journey of learning to care for the land. You can buy it by following the link in our description. The native plum tree is so full of fruit. It drops more each day, so we explore underneath it, searching for these special plums.
Gas station where I burned my ankle so bad it was changing colors for the duration of one of the best events.
Julia has been making the best infused honey, which we quickly run out of because it's so delicious and goes on everything. She made this cake from bananas, and the icing is made from Magnolia the goat's milk. We also went on a camping trip for our friend's birthday. It was so nice to just relax by the river with friends.
Oh, I didn't say anything! And then I got to
When the rain came, our camp got a bit soaky, but we still played like kids in the stream. On the way home, we decided to extend our trip a little and camp by the ocean with the kangaroos. The beach is always so special at this time of year, with clear waters and beautiful sunrises. We headed home, back to caring for the many animals. Time away is always beautiful, but being home with the animals is so special too.
Come on! Come on, come on! We've kept this paddock kind of closed off from the goats for the last few weeks, and you can see all of the weeds have just gone wild. There's molasses grass and cassia and a devil fig and lantana. And it just shows what an amazing job the goats do. And look how happy they are to be in here. I think the molasses grass must be their favorite. It must taste really sweet to them or something because they just love it. It's such a beautiful feeling shepherding them to a new paddock and just, I don't know, feeling their excitement. It's really beautiful. Looking after these ducklings is a bit of a full-time job because there's a lot of predators that could really hurt them. And even on the rainiest days, they need play, so I'm constantly out in the weather just looking after these little fluff balls. Do you want to go down? In this kind of weather, all of the big pythons kind of get away from all the rain, and you normally see them climbing up into the roofs, so that's fun. Got to keep them away from you, don't we? There's also been a few hawks and eagles that have been flying over and looking down at these little ones. There's also goannas, but not too many at this time of year. And then the other day we were at our friend's house and this python just came out of the lounge and started kind of slithering up her leg and like licking her. It was wild. I've never seen a snake do that. It was really strange. It was quite beautiful though. But there's predators everywhere, aren't there? The thing is that these little ones don't really understand that, and they don't really understand that I'm protecting them, so they're like, wee, this is fun, and going for big adventures, and I'm like, no, please be careful. There's also eels that live in the streams and waterholes, so I'm always a little bit worried when I take these guys for a swim, because I imagine a big eel coming up and taking a little bite, and I've always been a bit worried about it, but the other day I saw 2 eels in the stream, both at the same time, so now I'm extra worried. Now it's just like, is anywhere safe? You've got to be so careful. Just when they're this age, they're so innocent and vulnerable.
The music in this video is by Melissa Lingo, and you can find her links in our description. Thank you so much to our patrons for your support on this journey. We are so grateful.